Thinking versus executing. It's a battle that plays out in our minds every day. We dream big, envision success, and map out our plans. But how often do we find ourselves stuck in the cycle of someday? The truth is, dreamers often stay broke because they get trapped in their thoughts, while doers take action and build wealth. Let's break this down. Thinking is essential. It's where ideas are born. But when thinking becomes a substitute for action, we lose momentum. We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow, or I need to plan a little more. This is the trap of someday thinking. It feels productive, but in reality, it's just procrastination dressed up as preparation. Fear is a major player in this game. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It paralyzes us and keeps us from taking that first step. But here's the kicker. Every successful person has faced fear. The difference is that they didn't let it stop them. They pushed through it. As Tony Robbins said, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. Now, let's talk about momentum. It's a powerful force. When you start executing, even in small ways, you create a snowball effect. Each action builds on the last, and before you know it, you're gaining speed. It's like riding a bike. The hardest part is getting started. Once you're moving, it's easier to keep going. So, how do we start executing? First, set clear, actionable goals. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, break it down. What does that look like? Maybe it's saving a certain amount each month or investing in a side hustle. Next, create a timeline. Deadlines can be incredibly motivating. They push you to take action rather than just think about it. Another strategy is to embrace imperfection. Many people hesitate to execute because they want everything to be perfect. But perfection is an illusion. As Winston Churchill famously said, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it through action. Surround yourself with doers. The people you spend time with can influence your mindset. If you're surrounded by dreamers who are stuck in their heads, it's easy to fall into that trap. Seek out those who are taking action, who inspire you to move forward. Lastly, hold yourself accountable. Share your goals with someone who will check in on your progress. This creates a sense of responsibility that can push you to execute rather than just think. In the end, it's about taking that leap. The world is full of dreamers, but the doers are the ones who change it. So, what's stopping you? Take that first step today. Execute. Your future self will thank you. Every day, we make choices that shape our lives, often without even realizing it. One of the most significant choices we can make is how we approach our mindset. The difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset can be the deciding factor between remaining average and breaking through to extraordinary success. A fixed mindset believes that our abilities and intelligence are static. If you think you're not good at math, you might avoid it altogether, convinced you'll never improve. This mindset can trap us in a cycle of mediocrity. On the other hand, a growth mindset embraces challenges, viewing them as opportunities to learn and grow. When faced with a difficult task, someone with a growth mindset might say, "This is tough, but I can get better with practice." Consider the stories of successful individuals like Oprah Winfrey or Elon Musk. They faced countless obstacles, yet they chose to see failures as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Oprah once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." This perspective is what sets high achievers apart from the rest. They don't shy away from challenges, they lean into them. Now, let's talk about the mental divide between these two mindsets. It's not just about how we view our abilities, it's about how we respond to setbacks. A fixed mindset might lead you to give up after a failure, while a growth mindset encourages resilience. It's about understanding that failure is not the end, but a crucial part of the journey. Real-life applications of a growth mindset can be transformative. Take athletes, for example. They train relentlessly, knowing that improvement comes from effort and persistence. They analyze their performance, learn from mistakes, and adjust their strategies. This approach can be applied to any field, whether it's business, art, or personal development. Transitioning from average to above average requires intentional effort. It starts with self-awareness. Recognize when you're falling into fixed mindset thinking. Challenge those thoughts. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," ask yourself, "What can I learn from this experience?" Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to think differently. Their energy can be contagious. Daily habits play a crucial role in cultivating a growth mindset. Start by setting small, achievable goals. Celebrate your progress, no matter how minor it may seem. Journaling can also be a powerful tool. Reflect on your experiences, noting what you learned from each challenge. This practice not only reinforces a growth mindset, but also helps you track your journey. Another habit is to embrace curiosity. Ask questions, seek knowledge, and be open to feedback. Remember, every piece of feedback is an opportunity for growth. It's not a personal attack, it's a chance to improve. In the end, recognizing your potential is the first step toward embracing a growth-oriented perspective. It's about understanding that you have the power to change your narrative. You can break free from the average and step into a life filled with possibility. So, challenge yourself today. Embrace the discomfort of growth and watch how your life transforms. Every day, we face a choice to stay in the comfort of what we know or to step into the challenge of the unknown. Comfort is like a warm blanket. It feels good, but it can also suffocate our potential. The average mindset clings to stability and predictability. It whispers, "I just want things to be easy," and "I'm not ready to take risks." This mindset keeps us stuck, trapped in a cycle of routine that leads nowhere. P.T. Barnum once said, "Comfort is the enemy of progress." When we settle for less than we deserve, we lose even that. The cost of comfort is steep: our dreams, our growth, our legacy. It's a slow fade into mediocrity, where we watch life pass us by while we hit snooze on our ambitions. Now, let's flip the script. The above-average mindset embraces challenge. It seeks out difficult tasks, not because they're easy, but because growth happens outside our comfort zones. Challenge sharpens our character, builds our strength, and shapes us into leaders. Jim Rohn reminds us, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Winners don't shy away from hard things. They chase them. They run into the storm because that's where breakthroughs are born. Look at the difference side by side. The comfort mindset hits snooze, while the challenge mindset rises early to improve. The average mind takes feedback personally, while the above-average mind uses it to grow. You can either chase safety or chase strength. One gives you excuses, the other gives you results. Jenny Rometty, former CEO of IBM, said, "Growth and comfort do not coexist." Success isn't about avoiding pain, it's about pushing through it. So, how do you shift from comfort to challenge? Start with one hard thing every morning. Tackle the task you've been avoiding. Reframe pain as a sign of evolution. The discomfort you feel today is the strength you'll feel tomorrow. Set goals that scare you a little. If they don't, they won't change you. Track your courage by writing down the tough things you face each week. Surround yourself with challengers, those who will push you forward instead of dragging you back into comfort. T.D. Jakes wisely said, "You can't soar with eagles if you surround yourself with chickens." Comfort is seductive, but challenge is demanding. One keeps you average, while the other unlocks the above-average version of you. Ask yourself, will you choose ease or excellence, safety or strength, routine or reinvention? Robert G. Allen said, everything you've ever wanted is one step outside your comfort zone. Remember, hard choices lead to an easy life, while easy choices lead to a hard life. Greatness doesn't live in the comfort zone. It lives on the edge. Only those with an above-average mindset will make it there. Embrace the fight and watch how your life transforms. Excuses and ownership. These two concepts define the paths we choose in life. On one side, we have excuses, the language of the average mindset. It's easy to blame circumstances, luck, or other people. I couldn't succeed because I didn't get the right opportunity. I would have won if they hadn't cheated. It's not my fault. I did everything I could. But let's face it, excuses feel safe. They protect our egos, but they ultimately sabotage our results. Over time, they morph into regret. Now, let's flip the script and look at ownership, the hallmark of the above-average mindset. Ownership means taking responsibility for our mistakes, decisions, and outcomes, whether they're good or bad. It's about asking ourselves, what could I have done better? What can I learn from this? How do I grow from here? Stephen Covey once said, accountability breeds responsibility. When we take full responsibility for our lives, we gain the power to change anything. Consider the difference between two lives. One person is stuck in a cycle of blame. When they fail a test, they say, the teacher was unfair. When they face a business loss, they complain, the market was bad. In contrast, the other person takes ownership. They reflect on their failed test and think, I didn't study enough. They analyze their business loss and realize, my strategy was weak. This is the essence of growth. Excuses delay it, while ownership accelerates it. So, how do we shift from excuses to ownership? First, identify your top 3 recurring excuses. Write them down and face them head on. Next, replace every why me with what now. Shift from a victim mentality to a strategist mindset. Own your language. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I won't, and then ask yourself why. Seek feedback instead of validation. The truth can sting, but it's what sets you free. Finally, take action. Remember, ownership without action is just another excuse in disguise. You can't control your past or other people, but you can always control your response. You can own your choices and take responsibility for your life. Michael Korda said, success on any major scale requires you to accept responsibility. So take ownership. Take extreme ownership. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are the author of your future. The moment you stop making excuses and start taking ownership is the moment everything changes.
The divide between those who achieve lasting success and those who settle for fleeting pleasures often boils down to one key factor: mindset. Short-term thinking is seductive. It tempts us with instant gratification, making us believe that quick wins are the path to happiness. We've all been there, right? The allure of a night out instead of studying, the impulse to buy that designer jacket instead of investing in our future. It's a trap. Zig Ziglar once said, "Don't trade what you want most for what you want now." This is the essence of short-term thinking, trading our long-term dreams for immediate satisfaction. Bill Gates reminds us that most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10. This is the crux of the issue. We often chase quick results, leading to burnout and disappointment. The reality is that lasting success requires patience and perseverance. On the flip side, long-term thinking is a game changer. It's about playing the long game, sacrificing short-term pleasures for sustainable growth. It's not flashy, it's foundational. It's waking up early to work on your goals, investing in your skills, and building something that lasts. As Albert Einstein famously said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. This principle applies not just to finances, but to every aspect of life. James Clear emphasizes that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to monumental change over time. Bruce Lee put it succinctly, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. Wealth, whether financial, emotional, or mental, isn't built overnight. It's a process of compounding effort and patience. Steve Jobs once noted, "If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time. The goal isn't to achieve success quickly, it's to achieve it sustainably." Let's break it down with some daily examples. Short-term thinkers say, "Spend now, enjoy life." Long-term thinkers say, "Save, invest, and grow." In fitness, the average mindset opts for a crash diet for quick results, while the above-average mindset commits to daily workouts for lasting health. In careers, the average person quits when things get tough, but the long-term thinker masters their skills and plays the long game. To cultivate a long-term mindset, start by creating a vision for the next 5 to 10 years. Know where you're headed, or you'll find yourself chasing every shiny object that comes your way. Delay gratification. If something feels good now but hurts later, say no. If it's difficult now but builds your future, say yes. Focus on habits over hype. It's not about what you do once, it's about what you do consistently. Study those who have succeeded over time, people like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos. They didn't rush. They built slowly with a clear vision. Finally, check your choices. Ask yourself, is this building my future or just entertaining my present? Robert Kiyosaki wisely stated, "Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow." The journey to success is not about shortcuts. It's about the long road. Average people want the reward without the wait, but those with above-average minds understand that true success comes from patience, hard work, and a commitment to long-term goals. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. It's time to start laying the foundation for your future. Learning is a journey, and the path we choose can define our success. Let's dive into the contrast between passive and proactive learning. Passive learners often wait for knowledge to come to them. They attend classes, read books, and consume information, but they rarely engage deeply with the material. Their mindset is often, "I'll learn what I need when I need it." This approach can lead to stagnation. It's like standing still while the world moves forward around you. On the other hand, proactive learners take charge of their education. They seek out opportunities, ask questions, and actively apply what they learn. They understand that knowledge is not just about absorbing information. It's about transforming that information into action. This mindset is what sets above-average learners apart. They are constantly curious, always looking for ways to grow and improve. Consider the real-world impacts of these mindsets. A passive learner might find themselves stuck in a job, feeling unfulfilled and unchallenged. They might rely on their employer for training, waiting for someone to tell them what skills they need. In contrast, a proactive learner actively seeks out new skills, whether through online courses, workshops, or networking. They take ownership of their career, positioning themselves for advancement and new opportunities. Now, let's talk about daily habits that foster a mindset of lifelong learning. First, set aside time each day for learning. This could be as simple as reading a book, listening to a podcast, or taking an online course. The key is consistency. Even just 20 minutes a day can lead to significant growth over time. Next, embrace challenges. Don't shy away from difficult tasks or subjects. Instead, view them as opportunities to expand your knowledge and skills. Remember, growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Another important habit is to reflect on what you learn. Take notes, journal, or discuss new ideas with others. Reflection helps solidify knowledge and encourages deeper understanding. Finally, surround yourself with other proactive learners. Engage in discussions, share insights, and learn from each other's experiences. The right community can inspire you to push your boundaries and think differently. As you embark on this journey, keep in mind the words of Albert Einstein. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Let that be your guiding principle. Transitioning from an average to an above-average learner is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about cultivating a mindset that thrives on curiosity and growth. Take those actionable steps today and watch how your life transforms.
Fear is a universal experience. It creeps in when we're about to take a leap, whether it's launching a new business or stepping onto a stage. But here's the kicker. How we respond to that fear defines our journey. The average mindset allows fear to dictate decisions. It whispers doubts like, "What if I fail?" or "What will people think?" This mindset keeps us paralyzed, stuck in a cycle of inaction. As Rachel Huber wisely said, fear is the brain's way of saying that there is something important for you to overcome. It's not the fear itself that holds us back. It's our reaction to it. Susie Kassem put it bluntly, "Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will." The real failure isn't in trying and falling short. It's in not trying at all. Now, let's flip the script. The above-average mindset doesn't wait for fear to disappear. It acts in spite of it. Successful individuals understand that fear is a natural part of the process. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward even when you are afraid. Mark Twain captured this perfectly. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Nelson Mandela echoed this sentiment saying, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." Those who succeed take the leap. They embrace discomfort, knowing that failure is merely a stepping stone on the path to success. Winston Churchill reminds us, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And Jordan Belfort adds, "The only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it." So, how do we cultivate this confidence? It's not an innate trait. It's built through practice and perseverance. Start small. Do something that scares you every day. Reflect on your past victories, no matter how small. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. And remember, failure is not something to fear. It's a valuable teacher. Eleanor Roosevelt said it best. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. Napoleon Hill urged us not to wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. Confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Ultimately, the choice is ours. The average mindset allows fear to dictate our choices, opting for safety and comfort. But the above-average mindset, it steps boldly onto the path of confidence, recognizing that failure is not the enemy, but the training ground for success. As Jack Canfield reminds us, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So, which path will you choose?
What if I told you that your thoughts about success, money, and opportunity shape your reality? It's a profound realization that can transform your life. Let's dive into the contrast between scarcity and abundance thinking, two mindsets that can either hold you back or propel you forward. Scarcity thinking is the average mindset. It operates from a belief that success is limited, that if someone else wins, it means you lose. This perspective creates a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another's loss. You might find yourself feeling bitter when a colleague gets promoted, whispering, "Why not me?" as you scroll through social media, comparing your life to others. This mindset breeds jealousy, competition, and fear. As Brené Brown wisely said, you can't be envious and grateful at the same time. When you're stuck in scarcity, you hoard information and hesitate to help others, fearing it will diminish your own chances of success. But the truth is, the world doesn't operate that way. Now, let's shift gears and explore the above-average mindset rooted in abundance. This mindset sees opportunities everywhere and celebrates the successes of others. It understands that when someone else rises, it doesn't pull you down. Instead, it pushes everyone up. Jim Rohn encapsulated this perfectly. The more you give, the more you get. That's the law of abundance. People with an abundance mindset help others win because they know that success is unlimited. Zig Ziglar once said, "Success is unlimited when you realize there's room for everyone at the top." They don't view life as a pie with limited slices. They see it as a bakery where anyone can create their own pie. Grant Cardone reminds us, "There is no shortage of money on this planet, only a shortage of people thinking big enough." So how do you shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset? It starts with practice. Begin by cultivating gratitude daily. This simple act rewires your focus to what you have rather than what you lack. Collaborate with others, share your knowledge, and connect people. Replace envy with inspiration. When you see someone achieving their goals, tell yourself, "If they can do it, so can I." Ask yourself, "How can I create value?" Because value attracts opportunity. Zig Ziglar also said, "The fastest way to get what you want is to help others get what they want." And remember, as John F. Kennedy famously stated, "A rising tide lifts all boats." The moment you realize there's more than enough for everyone is the moment your success accelerates. The average mindset lives in fear, comparison, and control, believing that success is limited. But the above-average mindset knows that helping others win doesn't take away from your own success. It multiplies what's possible. As Wayne Dyer beautifully put it, abundance is not something we acquire. It is something we tune into. So, choose abundance today. Open your eyes to the opportunities around you. Lift others up, and in doing so, you will rise with them. Complaining is easy. It's a habit many of us fall into without even realizing it. We encounter a challenge, and our first instinct is to vent. But let's take a moment to think about what that really accomplishes. Complaining often leads us down a rabbit hole of negativity, where we focus on the problem rather than the solution. Consider this quote from the legendary entrepreneur Richard Branson. "Business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming." This mindset emphasizes the importance of looking forward, not backward. When we complain, we're essentially missing the bus. We're stuck at the station, fixated on what went wrong instead of preparing for the next opportunity. Let's contrast that with solution-oriented thinking. When faced with a challenge, instead of lamenting about it, ask yourself, "What can I do to improve this situation?" This shift in perspective is crucial. It's about taking ownership of our circumstances and actively seeking solutions. Take a page from the book of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison didn't dwell on his failures. He learned from them. Each setback was a stepping stone toward success. This is the essence of a solution-oriented mindset. It's about resilience, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. In the business world, this mindset can be a game changer. Leaders who focus on solutions inspire their teams to do the same. They create a culture where challenges are viewed as opportunities for growth. As Maya Angelou wisely stated, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can control your attitude toward them." Imagine a workplace where complaining is replaced with constructive dialogue. Instead of pointing fingers, team members collaborate to brainstorm solutions. This not only boosts morale, but also drives innovation. When we shift our focus from what's wrong to what can be done, we unlock creativity and foster a sense of community. Now, let's talk about the power of language. The words we choose can either empower us or hold us back. Complaining often involves a lot of "I can't" or "this is impossible." But when we adopt a solution-oriented approach, we start using phrases like "what if" and "how can I?" This subtle shift in language can transform our mindset and open doors we never thought possible. So, the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, pause and reflect. Are you leaning into the comfort of complaining, or are you ready to embrace the discomfort of finding a solution? Remember, every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. As we navigate through life and business, let's choose to be solution-oriented thinkers. Let's be the ones who see the glass as half full, who tackle problems head-on, and who inspire others to do the same. After all, it's not about avoiding challenges. It's about how we respond to them that defines our success.
Are you waiting or creating? This question is crucial because it defines not just your actions, but your entire mindset. The average mindset waits. It waits for the right moment, for luck to strike, for someone to notice their potential. You'll hear them say things like, "I'm just waiting for the right time," or "one day things will change." But here's the hard truth. Opportunities rarely knock on doors that stay shut. As Thomas Edison wisely said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. When you wait, you put your dreams in someone else's hands. You become passive, uncertain, and stuck in a cycle that rarely leads to greatness. Instead of waiting for life to happen, consider the above-average mindset, the mindset that creates. These individuals don't wait for perfect timing. They make things happen. They take initiative, embrace risks, and accept responsibility for their journey. They ask themselves, "What can I build today?" Or, "How can I add value now?" Milton Berle once said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." This proactive approach is what sets successful people apart. They understand that life rewards those who are busy creating rather than waiting. Henry David Thoreau noted, "Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it." Creating opportunities means turning rejection into redirection. It means using setbacks as stepping stones. It's about showing up every day, ready to create, not just to wait. Mindset shapes reality. Waiting might feel safe, but growth, discipline, and a willingness to challenge yourself elevate you beyond average. Les Brown reminds us, "You don't get in life what you want, you get what you are." You are not limited by your environment, you are limited by your mindset. Jim Rohn said it best, "Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change." So, ask yourself honestly, am I waiting or am I creating? The choice is yours. Choose to create.